We're having some pretty crazy things happening in this market when we're having only 2 or 3 stocks: Amazon, Nvidia, Google, and Microsoft. Most of those stocks have something to do with AI, which is why they've been going up a lot. You have them carrying the S&P right in the green, while all the other stocks, like, I don't know, MasterCard being down 1.5%. I mean, the financials, the REITs, Nike down 2%, Procter & Gamble down. I mean, all these stocks are down except those 3 stocks carrying the entire market to the green. And this is something that doesn't happen very often. And whenever I see something like that happening, it tends to always bring an opportunity, which what I'm going to try to discuss in today's video. But of course, the darling of this rally, the AI rally, is actually Nvidia. And now it's sitting at a shocking $312 per share. It's trading over 26 times earnings. 26 times earnings. I mean, this is what people are not understanding with the stock, is that yes, it's gonna keep going up, most likely because people are gonna keep FOMOing into this name. But what happened in 2020 and in 2021? You had a lot of these stocks, they went up 100%, 200%, 300%. I had some of them, they were up 500% because I bought a lot of the growth stocks in 2020. I had some that were up 500%. Did I sell at the top? No, I didn't sell at the top, but I sold with a few 100% gain. Why did I do that? Because I was valuing these stocks and I said that they priced in years and years of earnings just now. So the market was giving me a gift. They gave me all my profits that would have taken over the next 5 to 10 years. They gave it to me in 3 or 6 months. But I took it. A lot of people didn't take it. And then the stock started going down. They said it's going to recover, then it's going to recover. And then they sold down 50, 60, 70, or 80%. And I think the same thing is going to happen to Nvidia investors. I mean, if you actually bought Nvidia, you did amazingly well. I mean, congratulations to you. But I would not be buying and holding forever on something like Nvidia if you try to value it on any metric, no matter the AI story or whatever. I just cannot come up with any kind of scenario where I think, it's actually fairly valued at $312 per share. And Nvidia to me reminds me of the Tesla rally in 2021, where in 6 months from June 7th, 2021 to November 1st of 2021, Tesla rallied over 100%. And the same thing happened to Nvidia right now. It's been 6 months. Nvidia rallied 100% in 6 months. And it really reminds me of the optimism around Tesla. The story back then was actually more around the EVs, climate change, unlimited TAM, unlimited opportunity. It's the same thing that's happening with Nvidia, the AI story, unlimited TAM, unlimited opportunity, unlimited growth. But then something eventually is going to come, which is actually going to, who's been swimming naked? It's going to show all those things. And these stocks are going to reverse and people are going to lose a lot of money. You have something like Microsoft, which I did a video on Microsoft a few months ago, and I said it's actually reasonably priced. It's not as expensive as people believe, but now it's starting to get very, very expensive. I think I made it somewhere around 250 or 255. Now it's 318. I think the stock, it is getting expensive. The multiple is getting high. It doesn't mean it can't go higher, but I think it's just getting very, very expensive. And if we look at a chart of the S&P, we can clearly see from this chart that the market just wants to go higher, but there's something else that will tell you the market wants to go higher, and it's how it's actually behaving on earnings. This is Home Depot, and Home Depot projected its first annual decline in sales since 2009. And what happens? The market went up on it. Home Depot went down a little bit, then it quickly recovered, and it just kept going up. And this will really tell you that the market wants to go up. And I try to let the market do its thing. I don't try to chase it or try to, average up on XQQQ to just bet against it. If I see a catalyst for a reversal, that would kind of encourage me to open short positions again. But I did have a short position in early January, some puts on the S&P 500. And when I saw the momentum of the S&P and how things are behaving, I decided to close this short position at a loss. And I haven't had any short positions on the S&P until what we had the SVB. I ended up shorting junk bonds. And after that, I had some options here and there, but it wasn't any major short position because I'm just trying to let the market do its thing. I'm not trying to fight this market. And I don't recommend anyone to just try and to be a contrarian and try to fight the market without actually seeing a catalyst, because we can actually, go to crazy levels where no one is expecting it. Look at the DAX. The DAX pretty much made a new all-time high. while we're having everything that's happening in Europe, the Ukraine war, and all those things that's happening, the DAX actually made a new all-time high. And one of the reasons why I believe these European indexes like the DAX, some other ones, even the UK index, the FTSE 100, are just making new highs, in my opinion, is because their currency is actually very, very weak. And this is a comparison of the DAX versus the iShares MSCI Germany. It's not the same exact composure, but this is over the past 5 years where the DAX made a new all-time high, is up 21%. The iShares MSCI Germany, which is denominated in dollars, is actually down pretty close to 13%, 12.8%, and it's nowhere close to an all-time high. So we can actually see the big difference, and in my opinion, it has to do with the euro being much lower than it was at 125. It's now at 107 or 106 or even 105, I think. So it's much lower, and you have to count those gains in real terms, not in nominal terms, because if you look at something like Zimbabwe or something like Turkey, you could see how up these indexes are. They're just going up like crazy. But whenever you take off the currency and you look at them in dollars, it's not the best performance you could really hope for. But I've been noticing a lot of popular investors, from the 13Fs, they have been buying a lot of things. They bought Nvidia, they bought a lot of AI stocks, many of them bought Google, many of them are buying other stocks, and a lot of them are actually buying SPACs, the same things that happened in 2021. Now, those SPACs are actually very, very interesting because everyone pretty much forgot about them. No one wants to invest in them. Everyone calls them a scam. So maybe some investors are actually seeing an opportunity and they are buying up those SPACs. But the real opportunities that I'm seeing in the market, which I'm going to talk more about specific stocks in my video in the 1st of June. I do a video every month talking about, 2 stocks to consider for a specific month. But in my opinion, it's more around the other side of the market, whatever is not really going up. Something like the small cap stocks, maybe some of the small cap growth, Russell 2000, type of stocks, maybe something like the REITs. No one wants to touch the REITs anymore. If this is really a new bull market, and if you believe it's a new bull market, then a lot of those hedge funds that are sitting on a lot of cash, maybe they're not going to go chase Nvidia and Google and Amazon. Maybe they're going to chase some of the small caps. Maybe they're going to chase some of the REITs, maybe some of the pharmas, maybe some of the banks. They're going to chase some of those things. So I'm personally looking in my portfolio anywhere outside the big stocks. I am not chasing Google because I bought it at $84. I'm not chasing Amazon. I don't own Amazon. I never owned Nvidia. I missed out on Nvidia. And the same thing with Microsoft. I'm not touching any of these stocks. I'm looking at the other side of the market where everything is going down, these stocks are going up. This is where I can fight an opportunity, because if this is really some kind of a new bull market like everyone is saying, then these stocks are going to catch up, and this is where you could make a lot of alpha in a major way, in my opinion. But if this is not a new bull market and things are going to go back down, at least you're buying some value, you know what you're buying, and you're not sitting 100% in cash just looking at the market going up. So those were my thoughts in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press the like button and maybe consider subscribing. So I hope to see you in another one.